First of all, see how much prettier? See how much prettier? That's all I wanted to say. My curtains came. My second curtain came because they shipped individually. Also, I feel sick today. Also, I need to stop eating junk food. I need to stop eating chocolate and ice cream and fucking chips, crisps. Like, if I fucking want to eat something, hi, why don't I just make a fucking sandwich? Why don't you just make a fucking sandwich? A sandwich can't be less healthy than Doritos. I don't even like Doritos. They make me feel sick and they hurt my stomach. But whenever I get anxious, it's like, time to eat. Time to eat garbage. Because there's nothing more grounding, securing myself in reality. Like, it's like, supposedly it's a comfort. Look at this little light I bought. Gorgeous. Also, a very real glass candle holder that's really heavy, and a fake candle. There's little like the only way to turn it off, I think, is to unscrew it. They're you can you see there's like wax dripping details which aren't really that visible, and it flickers. Is it cool? I don't know. I like the atmosphere it brings. I also got a book light that's kind of the same as the one that's over there. This one's got yellow ass light because I don't know if you can tell, but my main light, it's cool. It's cool blue. Is it blue or is it white? It might be cool white. Because, I mean, according to the internet, that means that I'm like insane, because why do you want your room to look like a hospital? I don't think it looks like a hospital. I like it. I like the bright white light. It helped me see things clearly. I feel like yellow light, after a while, it gives me a headache. I feel like I can't see anything because everything's just yellow. I can't see past the yellow. But cool light, I feel like it's more real, more natural than yellow light. Yellow light's very artificial. It's like, oh, you got these old ass bulbs and your whole house is yellow. It's like, I don't know, but this little yellow reading light, because I'm reading, I always forget the name of it, Charles Dickens. What's the name of the book? David Copperfield. David Copperfield, isn't he a magician? I'm reading David Copperfield, so I got that little light so I can read it, because I used to have, there's 2 beds in here. One is for whenever my niece stays, and so she had a nightlight that was borrowed from someone else, and I finally returned that nightlight because I bought lights. I bought nightlights for this room. That's why I bought the little flickering candle. That's for me whenever I write and I want like the atmosphere of like a little flickering candle. And I do have candles that I light, but I am paranoid about how healthy that is, because I already light incense and I'm 100% certain if I ever get like cancer, it's because of the incense I be lighting. That can't be healthy. It's like a bunch of toxic chemicals and you're just breathing it in. It's probably worse than smoking because there's a scent to it. There's artificial scents. It can't be good. There's got to be healthier ways to do that. Probably not. I also got these little French combs because look. I kind of did it at the wrong place. Whenever I put it in, there's like a lump on each side. How do I stop that? Also, yes, they are secure. Whenever I first got them, I put them in immediately. And I wore them for a few hours, like while I was putting my curtains up and stuff. And they didn't fall out. I forgot they were even there. There has to be a better way to put them in. I'm a beginner, guys. I'm a beginner. This video is so fucking boring. My mouth is so fucking dry. Luna, scare the shit out of me. Like, what's this lump over here? What is this lump? Don't knock on my door. My dumb dog almost bit the mailman. I closed her in the kitchen, and she somehow opened the small one, Miley. Miley almost bit the fucking mailman. Ah! The postman. She bit the postman. She almost bit the postman. She was like at his feet, and I grabbed her, and he kind of had his hand out. Which, if you see a little dog, you're gonna, try to befriend it. As a connoisseur of little dogs, no. I know not to touch that bitch. She will bite. Whenever I'm not a few days ago, like 2 months ago, I like walked to the store and there was like this little chihuahua thing. It was like really, really fat. It wasn't a chihuahua, it was like some kind of mixed breed, but it was a little chihuahua thing. Kind of like Miley. Refresher on what she is. Hey Miley. Sweetie. A little thing. And I saw it and it looked so fucking cute and tired. And it was like it was waiting for the owner to come back. And it didn't look tense at all. But I could see in its eyes, if I took a step too close to that thing, it would snap and go fucking mental. Small dogs are very territorial because they're small and everything else is so big. And their dog instincts are telling them this is their space. They're territorial. I don't think you can definitely train it out of them. But there's like an Instagram account, I think it's on Instagram, of like these people, it's like I think it's a Chihuahua sanctuary. They have like 20 Chihuahuas in their house running about. And even them, they're at a fucking sanctuary and they're still territorial over like the sofa, over their toys. It's like if another Chihuahua's on the sofa, they start fighting. And I guess it's fine if it's like Chihuahuas kind of fighting like small dogs fighting amongst themselves, but it's the fact that this small dog picks fights with people and bigger dogs. That's what pisses me off. I need a burp. What was I talking about beforehand? I don't know, my mouth is dry and I have a headache and this video is so fucking boring. I might not even upload it because I'm literally just sitting here complaining. I'm complaining. I'm complaining like a bitch, like a little bitch, like a little bitch, like a little bitch. I can tell it's gonna rain. I need to get to the post office. I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Let's do this. Period. So how are you guys? Who the fuck sent me $10 last night? 10 Australian dollars. You Australian asking to make to make a video or something? Yes, you can do it. I was gonna respond to your message, but I'll just tell you that I responded in this video. Because everything is public, bitch. You can't hide. Yeah, if you want to make a fucking piece of art, which is what I'm choosing to call it, go fucking ahead. I love that you sent me 10 Australian dollars. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I read the most adorable and gorgeous paragraph in David Copperfield, and I've been thinking about it for fucking weeks. Don't look at my body. I've been wearing the same bottoms for a week because I didn't do laundry, but I'm doing laundry right now. I did laundry. This is clean. Wearing clean underwear. I don't wanna wait for our lives. I read it. I downloaded the PDF. I downloaded the PDF on my laptop, so I read it on my laptop, so I don't have it like marked. I don't have it marked in the book. Guys, I'm gonna sit here in silence for 10 minutes looking for a paragraph in a book. Can I say of her face, altered as I have reason to remember it, perished as I know it is, that it is gone? When here it comes before me at this instant, as distinct as any face that I may choose to look on in a crowded street. He's talking about his mother, his dead mother, and it's so sweet. Can I say of her innocence and girlish beauty that it faded and was no more when its breath falls on my cheek now as it fell that night? Can I say she ever changed when my remembrance brings her back to life? Thus only and truer to its loving youth than I have been, where man ever is, still holds fast what it cherished then? Can I say of her face, altered as I have reason to remember it, perished as I know it is, that it is gone when it comes to me at this instant as distinct as any face? I don't understand the last sentence. Can I say she ever changed when my remembrance brings her back to life? Thus only and truer to its loving youth than I have ever been, or man ever is, still holds fast what it cherished then? She never changed because my remembrance brings her back to life. Truer to its loving youth than I have ever been, or man ever is. Back to life, still holds fast what it cherished then. I read it for just as she was when I had gone to bed after this talk. Poor boy loves his mummy. Poor boy loves his mummy. Poor boy loves his mummy. I hope nothing bad happens to her. I hope nothing bad happens to her. Oh, I'm not an idiot. How do you pronounce Pigoti? Pigoti? Pigoti. Pigoti? Pigoti? Pigoti. I even think Pigoti, even though I'm pretty sure it's Pigoti. Pigoti. There's... Whenever I read... Miss Betsy said something. Pigoti... Do you mean to say, child, that any human being has gone into a Christian church and got herself named Pigoti? That's like on page 3. When I read that, I was like, Charles Dickens gets it. You mean to say to me that a woman went into a Christian church and got herself named Pegati? Like, like that's how real people talk. That's what I meant whenever I said that. I think I said in my last video or the video before that Charles Dickens writes good, entertaining characters. Maybe not the in-depth way that Tolstoy does, but he writes them in his own way. And as we discussed in my last video, we find out through Googling that because I thought that Charles Dickens and Edgar Allan Poe were very like similar in their styles, and it turns out that Edgar Allan Poe was fucking obsessed with Charles Dickens, and Charles Dickens did not care for that little fanboy. That's so funny. Also, I love that Edgar Allan Poe was American because he always seemed American to me, and that's what I initially Googled. Because I was like, if they tell me this boy was English, my whole worldview is wrong. No, he was born and raised in the northeast. Northeast. I don't wanna wait. Let me over. Northeast of the States, by the way, so like surrounding the New York area, Boston, Massachusetts, wherever Gilmore Girls takes place. You know, Harvard, Princeton, etc. Yale. I should have said not Princeton. I don't know where Princeton is. But I know it's a better university than Harvard. I don't want to wait. Do you guys know that I studied animation in university? Animation. Cartoons. I studied willingly cartoons. Why? While you were learning neurobiology, I was watching SpongeBob and writing a paper on it. A queer analysis of SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't wanna wait for my life to be over. I should have been like a neurobiologist. Study the brain. I think I'd be good at that because the brain is all there is. There's really nothing else other than your brain. It's just it. That's it. That's it. So like what other dedication, what's the word? What's the term? I'm dehydrated right now. If you were to commit to a science, it would have to be neurobiology, right? But I was scared of science because it involves a lot of math, and I am bad at math. I don't wanna wait for my life to be over. I feel so sick. I have sparkling water behind me, but I think sparkling water is dehydrating. Based on my experiences with it, I think it's dehydrating. I'm gonna go get some. Sparkling mineral water should not be dehydrating. I suppose there's sodium in it. I guess mineral water, it's a little drier because there's salt. It's bottled in County Limerick. That's awesome. County Limerick. Is that where limericks come from? When I say I feel sick because I was eating junk food, this is what I mean. This, huge, how much is this? 360 grams of chocolate that I bought yesterday on a whim because I was out and I saw it and I was like, should I have this? Like an idiot, I got it. Bitch, just buy vegetables. I like vegetables more than I like chocolate. But it's like, I don't have to cook it, and it's easy, and it makes me feel something. It makes me feel like overeating and feeling so full to the point that I feel like I want to vomit. Obviously, it's a comforting feeling. But why though? Can we dissect that? Why is it a comforting feeling to eat that much sugar? Obviously, like your caveman instincts. But with just some inner reflection, you can easily bypass your caveman. You can easily be like, well, this is why that's happening. Just get over it. I don't think you can easily bypass your caveman instincts. I really think that's what makes up your brain. I don't know why I said that before. Just a moment ago. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I don't know what that is. I honestly don't know what that is. Is that the theme song to Dawson's Creek? I don't know what it is. I never watched Dawson's Creek, so it can't be, right? So what's up? That's so funny. You're so funny. I'm in such a horrible mood. I have a Monster Energy under my bed that's just ready to go. But I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking it. I don't want to drink it. I don't want to drink it. Because it fucks up with my throat. And my stomach hurts from all the chocolate I ate yesterday. Which was half of a 360 gram chocolate bar. Dairy Milk Winter Mint Crisp. Less calories than the regular chocolate, which is weird. And I thought, there's mint in it. Maybe it would digest easier. There's a lot of thought goes into every decision I make. I wouldn't usually get mint chocolate, but if I'm going to gorge on something, better it be something I haven't had before, because otherwise it's just very obvious that I'm falling back into old habits. Binge eating problem, perhaps. As bad as it used to be? No. No. Brian. I've been avoiding politics and news for the past 2 months. But yesterday I bought a newspaper and I have not glanced at it once. Since I got it, I just haven't had the time. I would love to give you some political commentary. But I don't have it in me. I have a burp in me. There's a story behind Funshine Bear over here. And there's an even bigger one up there, which was a mistake. The purchase was a mistake. Because this one's comfortable as like a pillow. And so I thought, a bigger one, big waste of money. I saw it in the store and I was like, I can't not get a bigger version of the thing I use as a pillow whenever I can't sleep. You know? But you can't lie on it because it's too big. It's too big. It's not the same. And so it's just up there. No use for it. I could give it to my niece. She's 1 year old. But then I feel like that would be a punishment on my sister. Here's this giant thing to put in your kid's room that will just take up space, and she probably won't even, like, she'll be like, oh, like the kid, the baby, she'll be like, oh, it's a bear. But she won't play with it because it's too big. It's too big to play with. She will just kind of hug it and then go on with her day. And so that's kind of, it's not a waste, but it's kind of like a waste. And then what will my sister do with it? She'll throw it in the garbage after like 2 years. No doubt. No doubt. Gwen Stefani, the other guys, no doubt. So what do I do with it? I thought about skinning it. Could you imagine if I skinned it and I turned it into like a furry mask? Not a furry. I just thinking about what could I do with this giant thing. Turn it into a costume for a baby, for a toddler. That's kind of cute. That's kind of that's horrifying. Thinking about that big Funshine Bear walk and talk. No, no, no. Does this work? I stole this from a hotel. Don't leave little LED lights everywhere if you don't want me to take some. It was a good thing too, because whenever I came back home, my power was out. And it was nighttime, so it was pitch black everywhere. And I used them to light my house until the power came back on. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I'm gonna write a horror story. A creepypasta. I'm gonna continue my creepypasta legacy. Oh, I have to email that guy back that did like a podcast on my stories. I should give him a shout out here. I forgot his name though. Next time. But what if I'm too busy? I have to like go find the email, write his name down. It's like, and then there's the other guy. Someone else. There was a YouTube video, but I think that YouTube account that like reads out creepypastas to AI generated images, that might be a bot. It doesn't sound like a bot, it sounds like a real person. It sounds like a guy who's kind of mediocre at reading creepypastas. I'm not afraid to give my opinion. Try a little harder. Maybe take some lessons on how to tell a story. That's coming from me, someone who cannot. You just read me read a quote. A quote that I found so emotionally moving, I reread it like 5 times when I first read the book and kind of cried a little. But here on camera I'm reading it and it's just blank. It's just blank. Can I really say that she ever changed? I just made myself cry. Did I do it? Now I'm excited, so it's going away. Thus continues the legacy of me trying to cry on camera. Today I succeeded for a few seconds before I got excited about it. Watch this. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I don't wanna wait. I'm gonna write a creepypasta about a scientist who's like obsessed with his pigs because he's like a pig farmer, and he kind of like merged himself with a pig. He gave himself a pig face. He cut the face off a pig. One of his pigs died. He cut the face off of it, attached it to his own face. Like he sewed it on, but it's kind of like a, what's that movie called? Walrus? Tusk? Walrus? The guy who turned a guy into a walrus or some shit. It's kind of like that where he did. I don't know the science behind it. I'll have to look into it. And he can like talk with like this pig face, and it's disgusting because pigs freak me the fuck out. They're like humanoid mutant abominations. Sound like an X-Men villain. Mutant abominations. They sound like humans, they look like humans, they have human eyes, they have human skin, human teeth, human habits, human voices. Ugh, I hate pigs. Ugh, they're so creepy. They're so fucking creepy. They smell sour, and it's not even like their shit that smells sour. It's them, it's their skin, it's their sweat. I don't know if pigs sweat, but they produce a very sour smelling smell that smells like death. And you can't convince me that pigs weren't like field human experiments. Ugh, 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 ugh. Have you ever been to a farm and you've ever seen like a giant pig? Because they're huge. Pigs are huge. People think pigs, they think tiny cute little baby. No, they're fucking the size of this fucking room. Bigger than you could ever imagine. A big fucking pig that's just obese. And it's laying there and it's screaming. Have you ever seen that? I've seen that too many times. Too many times. And each time traumatized. I think that movie, I don't know what it's called, but the sequel to Silence of the Lambs, my mother told me about it. It came out, I think, when I was a kid, so I think I saw it when I was a kid. No memory of it, but I think I brought up my fear of pigs to my mother, and she brought up that movie and was like, maybe you watched that when you were a kid, and I was like, that kind of sounds familiar. But I'm not that sensitive. I wasn't that sensitive as a kid to have like a trauma revealed to me through a movie. I loved horror movies as a kid. When Insidious came out, I was like 9, and it was my favorite movie. I was obsessed with it for like the whole year. I'm still kind of obsessed with Insidious. I like rewatch it over and over because I just love the visuals. I love the horror visuals. I love the demonic faces and the jumps. Oh, it's so good. And it produced a mediocre series of movies, which have good horror visuals, less good writing and acting, but I don't care about that. It's a horror movie. I'm here for the scary images. I'm here for, there's a demon on the roof. Like that scene in Annabelle. The scene in Annabelle where the like demon or like Satan himself or whatever the fuck, it's chasing her through the basement and it's chasing her up these stairs. That's beautiful. That's so gorgeous. It's such a gorgeous sequence. Beautiful part of the movie. Is it a good movie? God, no, it's not a good movie. It's not even a well-produced sequence. But it's gorgeous. I mean, there's a demon, there's a guy in black paint and facial prosthetics chasing her up the... Do you remember that Panic at the Disco music video? For, I don't know what the song was called. He's wearing, Brandon Urie, he's wearing like the exact same prosthetics as was in the movie Annabelle. He's like a demon. I thought it hilarious. It's hilarious. It's gorgeous. I love that kind of like, I don't know. Because it's not CGI. It's not CGI. It's purely camera work. It's a guy in paint chasing this woman up the stairs through a creepy basement. It's perfectly shot. I just like horror visuals. I've said that so many times, billions of times. Anyway, Insidious was my favorite movie as a kid. So and before that, Eight-Legged Freaks, I had that on tape, watched it over and over and over and over again. Obviously, when I'm 5-6 years old, I don't know what a satire is. I didn't know it was a satire movie. I thought it was meant to be a horror movie and failing. It was meant to be like a disaster movie about giant spiders. I thought it was bad at it, but then I got older and I realized, oh, this is satire off those movies. But there were certain parts in it that creeped me out. Like there's a cat goes into the wall and dies. It gets killed by a giant spider and you can hear the cat screaming. Of course, as a 6-year-old, I'm going to be like, ugh, ugh, the cat's screaming in the wall. Oh, poor kitty. Is it a cat or is it a dog? Oh my god, what if it's a dog and I just imagined it was a cat? To like protect myself. I mean, obviously it's terrible if it's a cat, but there's just something about it. Oh. Oh. Because cats are more independent, you know? Often cats die in weird ways because they have a lot of freedom to do that. But dogs, they're kind of like children. You gotta just stare at them constantly and make sure that they're not hurting themselves because a lot of dogs are just stupid. It's our fault. We bred them to be dumb. So it's really humanity's responsibility to make sure that they don't get pulled into the wall and murdered by a giant spider. Yeah, so I don't think the sequel to The Silence of the Lambs, where a guy gets eaten by giant pigs, would have caused my. I think just seeing pigs in real life and seeing ginormous monstrosities laying on their side, unable to walk, they fatten up those things until they're unable to walk. It's ugh, ugh, ugh. Anyway, I'm gonna write a creepypasta about a guy who's like attaches a pig to him. It's his face. He's like a pig guy. He's pig boy. Pig boy. And he loves his like pigs, and I don't know, he does something to you. He does something to you. What did he do to you? Maybe he turns you into a pig. Maybe he loves his pigs so much that he sacrifices you for his pigs. And really what's scary isn't the way you die, but it's his appearance that's scary. It's the scary part. A lot of things to think about. I like horror. It's funny. Guys, horror is fucking funny. I can't think of like... Horror is funny and comedy is scary. I already went through this before in my video titled Horror Comedy is Not Real, because you can't mix them. If you mix them, you're making a mistake. Because if something's funny, there's obviously, it's like true, you know? There's like a scary... Obviously not all the time, but in comedy movies, think about rom-coms, a lot of the situations they're in are actually horrifying. But because it's a movie and it's a rom-com, the tone is light, so it's presented as funny. But in real life, that would be scary. Nobody taking anything really seriously. Well, for me, I would love that. But realistically, it's scary. And a horror in so many ways is so funny. It's already funny. You don't need horror comedy when I'm already laughing at the horror. Not like body gore. I can't watch the Saw movies. I think they're gross. I mean ghosts when I say horror. I mean spooky ghosts. They're obviously funny. Ah, it's a ghost. I'm not saying there aren't forces in this world that humans aren't supposed to understand. I'm not saying that there aren't invisible forces. Because ghosts in real life, they're a mixture of people's own minds. Very powerful thing. Takes us back to neurobiology. The fucking brain is everything. But it's like a mixture of science we don't understand. Like, think about years ago, people would see, I don't know, running water. Like a magician do a trick and they'd be like, oh my god, it's paranormal. It's paranormal. Like, think about right now if this mug lifted on its own and threw itself against that wall. I wouldn't think ghost, as in like Casper. I would think something weird happened. Something weird happened that can be explained by literally the laws of nature and physics. But maybe a field that we don't really understand or have, because there's a lot of invisible things. I'm not a scientist. I can't like give you a list. Go to fucking, I don't know, do your own research if you want to disprove what I'm saying. But there's a lot of like invisible things that humans just can't see, such as colors we can't see. Are colors real? Are colors real, or is it like a mirage? Like, I really need to know, are colors real? Is anything real? Because we don't know what reality actually looks like. Nobody knows what reality actually looks like, so nobody can actually say if anything is actually there. And I don't mean that in like a, oh, nothing's real kind of a way. I mean that in like a, like, obviously it doesn't affect life at all. It doesn't, like, if, oh, nothing's real, it's no change on anything. If you think that changes anything, you're stupid. Oh, you're actually a brain inside of a jar. I don't care. This is what I'm experiencing right now. It's also what you're experiencing, so what? It doesn't fucking change anything. It doesn't make anything more or less real. Things are as serious as you take it. I need a burp or something. There's like gas stuck in my throat. Is this mug lifted and threw itself against the wall? Oh, it ruined my painting, first of all. My Franz Marc der Traum. No. I'm so glad that stayed to the wall all this time. It's just on with blue tack. I got sad for a second because I thought about the coffee in this mug, in this Alice Cooper School's Out mug, being thrown over it by a ghost. Can we talk about Alice Cooper School's Out? Horrible song. Alice Cooper is like mediocre as hell. Because it was in that, wasn't it featured in the movie Fast Times? Guys, I think that movie's boring. I watched it one night when I was in high school. That movie's about abortion. It's not about, oh, we're free and we're young. It's about abortion and I think women's rights. It's kind of horrifying, no? There's a lot of stories that interlink, and I think the comedy relief story is the guy that his like, I don't even remember, his teacher like comes to his house to like tutor him or some shit. He's like a stoner and he's like, oh, school doesn't matter. That's meant to be the comedy relief, but that's equally horrifying. Everything in that movie is like, what? And wasn't it directed by the same, I don't know if she directed it or she had some part in that movie, Amy Heckerling of Clueless fame. Clueless is kind of a similar movie in that a lot of stuff happens. Just a lot of stuff happens, because Clueless, it's like, okay, scene 1, this is happening, it's over. Scene 2, this is happening, it's over. And the only constant is the main character, Cher, and her emotional journey. And it's, I think, over the course of 1 whole year. Maybe 2 whole years. 1 whole year. There's Christmas, I think there's Halloween. Is there Halloween? Is it like a Mean Girls situation where it's Halloween? I don't know. Santa baby, just wanna get a grip. Should I put my hair up? It is greasy. It is greasy. I wet it. I'm back in my wedding. Oh God. Dog snored. I've been an awfully good girl, Santa baby. So hurry down the chimney tonight. So hurry down the chimney tonight. Okay. See, as you know, I'd usually pin these up with hair clips, but I was wondering if I could use these French clips to do the same thing. Do you think? Do you think it's possible? I do that face, I feel like my grandma because she used to do that face all the time. Something happens and she's like, So hurry down the chimney tonight. You know what makes me cry? This is backwards. The death of Naya Rivera. I remember when Naya died. I don't know if it's Naya or Naya. I remember when Naya died. Oh my god. I like came downstairs and my sister was like, oh, that like one of the people from Glee is missing. I was like, what? What do you mean missing? Who? And she was like, I don't know which actor it is. Well, she plays one of the cheerleaders. And I thought, oh my god. It can't be Naya Rivera. Icon. Legend. Naya herself. It can't be. It can't be. I go home, I Google it. Naya Rivera's missing. Her son was found. Her son was found. Alone on the boat. Alone on the boat. Everywhere I went that day, I was listening to the news. Because they would update. They were updating the search for Naya Rivera. Every like hour. Every time it was like a news, like daily news, some I don't know, here's the weather, and like update, you know what I mean, like news updates on the radio. I was like listening to that every hour, like looking for updates on Naya's situation, and every single, I was like refreshing my phone every 10 minutes. I had to find more information, so like every single new news article that posted about it, I was reading them all and I was collecting all the information. Okay, where the hell is Naya Rivera? 2 days, I think, maybe 3 days. 3 days later, they find her body. Naya Rivera. They find her body. She's dead. Sure, it was suspected. Her son was alone on the boat. Oh. And the the news that I read was so gross. It was descriptive. It described what her body looked like. And now that's an image that forever haunts me. Naya Rivera dredged up from the bottom of the lake. Dredged up from the bottom of a lake. Ugh. Naya. I can't believe this was like 4 years ago. Naya, why? Naya, why? And guess what happened? No one knows. No one knows how she got in that lake. Supposedly she was swimming. People think her son, like 3 years old, I think, by the way. Thank God when he was alone on the boat, he didn't fall in. He didn't fall in. People think maybe he fell in and she tried to save him and lifted him up and put him on the boat. But they think because she was anorexic. She didn't have enough strength to swim. That's a theory. She'd have no strength to swim back. But if she's swimming a lot, like I think she goes here regularly to this lake, which is a dangerous lake. A lot of people die here. I don't remember which lake, but it's huge and it's dangerous because there's a lot of like currents underneath it. So it should be illegal to swim in this thing. Maybe she fell in. I don't know if she was in a swimsuit or what the situation was. I don't think it said if she was in a swimsuit. I don't know. I don't know. They don't know how she... Maybe she got pulled by the current. Maybe she had some kind of a seizure in the water and drowned. There's a lot of theories about what happened that day. And I don't want to go back and revisit it in order to actually find out what happened. I don't want to look at all of these articles again, all these news headlines from the time, and have come out since to put together like my own theory on what happened, because I don't want to like think about it for too long. It's horrible. Naya, why'd you have to die? Why'd you have to die? Why'd you have to die? Why'd Naya Rivera have to die? Can you tell me? It doesn't look very in, does it? I don't know. I have to go to the post office. And post office, I assume, I haven't been there, but I assume everyone who works there is an old lady. So, do they know fashion? Yes. Would they care if I showed up with my hair looking a little lumpy? I don't think so. I don't think they would care too much. I don't wanna wait. Can I use it to hold the back of my hair up? I have 3. I don't know why they sent 3. I ordered them online because some pretty woman told me to get a French comb, and I said yes. Yes, absolutely. You're gorgeous. And it works for you. So if I get a French comb, it will work for me. I'll do anything a pretty woman tells me to. Of course I'll get a French comb. So I saved up some money. They were like £1, but a single pound, which is like $1.10, I think. $1.20, I don't know. I know dollars are more because every time I see something like priced in dollars, it's always a little bit more than what it is in UK pounds. Does it go this way or does it go this way? I'm sure it can go either way. I don't know. I'll have to play with them. I'll have to experiment on how exactly they work. That feels a mess. I don't know what the hell I just did to the back of my head. I don't want to wait. I think my hair is too thick. Right now it's greasy, so it might work, but if it's washed, I think it's too thick to be held by one of these. Maybe if I use 3 and gross. Gross! I'm gonna show you the back of my head, but I have no idea what the back of my head looks like. Oh, did I not rub that in? This side? Don't look at the mouse over there. I gotta go. Guys, I gotta go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I like procrastinating by talking here. Oh, I got a little Superman curl. A little Superman curl. Okay, bye.